Okay, imagine this for a second. A brilliant 22-year-old graduate, full of energy, steps into her first big corporate job. But here's the thing, and it's pretty striking. There's like a 60% chance she'll be looking to leave within just 18 months.
Mm-hmm. That statistic is, it's really making waves. It's based on recent studies looking at Gen Z retention.
Hmm.
And it really forces us, doesn't it, to ask some pretty basic questions about what's going on.
Exactly, because, what that tells us is that the old ways of keeping employees engaged, well, they're just not working like they used to. Think about, the ping pong tables, the big annual bonus, even casual Fridays. They're kind of becoming relics.
They really are. The whole landscape of motivation, of what keeps people, especially this generation, committed, it's shifting dramatically.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We really want to unpack the world of Generation Z in the workplace. Who are they? What really drives them? And crucially, how are some forward-thinking U.S. companies actually managing to crack the code? How are they engaging in keeping this generation?
And it's a huge generation already, right? Making up almost a third of the global population.
Yeah, exactly.
And the challenge here, it's more than just keeping young employees happy, though that's part of it. It's really about tapping into this huge potential. This is the generation that's going to drive the future of business.
Right.
No question.
Right.
So companies, the smart ones anyway, are realizing they need to fundamentally rethink, well, almost everything. Rewards, training, communication. They're learning to speak Gen Z's language. And that language, it's rooted in tech, a deep need for authenticity and finding real purpose in what they do.
Okay, so let's start there. Let's try to understand this generation better. We all kind of know they grew up online, but what does that really mean for work? They were born, mid-90s to early 2010s?
Roughly, yeah.
So they literally have never known a world without the internet, without smartphones, social media. It's just
Normal? Precisely. It's their baseline. And that constant digital immersion, it's profoundly shaped how they see the world and, critically, what they expect from an employer. So yes, they're naturally tech savvy, often quite entrepreneurial in spirit too. And interestingly, despite maybe some stereotypes, they have a surprisingly strong desire for financial stability.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And layered on top of that is this really significant sense of social responsibility, a high awareness of diversity, and this deep, deep need for things to be authentic in all parts of their lives. And that absolutely includes work. No separation.
So how does that translate into workplace expectations? What are they looking for from a boss, from a company?
Well, you see a huge emphasis on flexibility, for
Yep.
one,
Yeah.
constant opportunities to learn and grow, and maybe most importantly, a real demand for work-life balance. It's not just a buzzword for them.
So it's not just about finding a job.
No, not at all. They're looking for a career path, something that genuinely aligns with their personal values. They
Yeah.
want to see how their work makes an impact, how they can grow.
And you mentioned authenticity. That idea of not separating work and personal identity, that feels key.
It really is. They want to bring their whole selves to work, not put on a different persona from 9 to 5.
Okay, so if they want authenticity and connection, what about how they prefer to communicate?
Ah, good question. Because they grew up on instant messaging, right? Social media feeds. So they expect communication to be transparent, pretty much real-time feedback, open dialogue, less of the formal top-down stuff.
Makes sense.
And they tend to be quite competitive, actually. Achievement-oriented, always looking to level up their skills.
Which connects to what you said earlier about rewards, moving away from the traditional.
Exactly. It connects directly. We're seeing this major shift away from things like the, once-a-year bonus towards recognition that's immediate, something they can share, maybe even something experiential.
Like digital badges.
Yeah, things like that. They crave acknowledgement they can display, maybe on their LinkedIn profile or internal platforms. It's about personal branding, but also that social proof. Almost like a professional dopamine hit, as you put it earlier.
Okay, let's really dive into some of these strategies companies are using that. Started with those digital rewards and recognition. Because in this age of likes and shares, it feels like Gen Z sees digital recognition almost like virtual trophies.
That's a great way to put it. Virtual trophies.
Mhm.
And companies are making these quite tangible, digitally speaking. Look at IBM, for example. They have their IBM Open Badge program.
Okay.
They give out verifiable digital badges when employees learn new skills or make significant contributions. And these aren't just internal pats on the back. Employees can stick them right on their LinkedIn profiles. For Gen Z, that's powerful. It's branding, it's social currency, and it really motivates them to keep learning.
I can see that. What else?
Well, Deloitte has some pretty comprehensive digital reward systems, too. Employees earn points for various achievements, and they can redeem those points for things they actually want, like extra vacation days or maybe donating to a charity in their name. It offers that personalized choice.
That instant gratification aspect seems really key there.
Absolutely.
Getting that badge or those points right after you finish something tough, instead of waiting months for a review, that must hit differently.
It totally does. It satisfies that need for frequent feedback, for visible progress.
And you mentioned social elements, like peer recognition.
Yes, exactly. Many of these systems allow colleagues to nominate each other, give shout-outs. It builds a culture of appreciation from the ground up. Think about Salesforce's Trailhead program. It brilliantly mixes learning new skills with earning badges, and it clearly shows potential career paths. Development becomes this visible, trackable kind of journey.
Okay, so badges, points, it starts to sound a bit like a game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which brings us to gamification. Is that basically applying game mechanics to work?
That's exactly it. Applying elements like points, levels, leaderboards, challenges to non-game situations like work tasks or training. It taps right into Gen Z's comfort zone with interactive digital stuff and their expectation for clear progress markers.
Any examples of companies doing this well?
Sure. Microsoft, for instance, adapted its external Microsoft Rewards concept for internal use. Employees can earn points and level up by doing training or contributing to projects. It makes some of the more routine tasks feel, well, more engaging, more like a quest.
Blessed, I like that.
And Walmart's taken it even further. They use VR virtual reality games for training new hires.
Really? VR?
Yeah, simulating customer interactions, tricky situations. It's an engaging way to practice skills in a safe space before they're, actually facing customers.
And you can see why this works, right? It gives that immediate feedback loop we talked about.
Yeah.
Action, consequence, reward. Just like a game.
Exactly.
It also plays into that competitive side, maybe with leaderboards showing who's completed the most training modules or something. Social proof again.
Mm-hmm. And clear pathways. Gamified systems often make advancement routes really visible. You know what you need to do to reach the next level in your development. Deloitte's Leadership Academy uses gamification for professional development too, making learning feel more dynamic.
But there's a potential pitfall here, isn't there? Does it risk feeling superficial?
That's the crucial point, yes. While Gen Z often appreciates game-like elements, the gamification has to enhance the actual work, the core values, the real objectives. It can't just be a layer of fun slapped on top of meaningless tasks. It needs to genuinely connect to their growth, their purpose. If it feels forced or inauthentic,
We'll see right through it.
instantly, authenticity is key.
Okay, makes sense. So we've covered individual achievement, digital rewards, gamification. But Gen Z also grew up hyper-connected on social media. What about peer-to-peer stuff, social recognition?
Oh, this is absolutely critical. They bring that expectation for social validation. The likes, the comments, the shares right into the workplace.
So companies need to facilitate that.
Yeah, the smart ones are. Look at LinkedIn, even internally. They have systems where employees can give digital kudos to colleagues. And often those kudos can be shared publicly on the person's profile. That's powerful validation both inside and outside the company.
And other platforms specialize in this.
Yeah, platforms like Bonusly are built around this idea, enabling small, frequent micro bonuses and recognition between peers. It fosters this ongoing culture of appreciation, not just waiting for manager feedback.
And the benefits seem pretty clear. It builds that continuous feedback culture you mentioned. It feels more authentic, more transparent when praise comes from peers who see the day-to-day work.
Right.
And I imagine it could really help combat things like imposter syndrome, which we know affects a lot of young professionals.
Yeah.
Seeing public validation of your work, that's concrete.
Absolutely. It provides tangible evidence of value. Zappos is famous for this too, with their coworker bonus program. Small bonuses, but often with custom badges, funny write-ups shared widely. It makes appreciation feel communal and genuine.
Genuine seems to be the operative word again.
Always. It has to be real. You can't force this stuff. The platforms should just make it easy for spontaneous, heartfelt appreciation to happen naturally.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. We've touched on it, but let's talk purpose. That seems huge for Gen Z. Work isn't just a paycheck, right?
Not even close. It's about making a difference, contributing to something bigger than themselves. This is maybe one of the most fundamental shifts we're seeing in what work means to this generation.
So how are companies tapping into that? Is it just about CSR reports?
No, it has to go much deeper. What's really compelling is seeing companies embed purpose into their actual operations, into their DNA. Take Patagonia. Their environmental internship program lets employees take up to 2 months of paid leave to go work for environmental groups.
Wow, paid leave for that.
Paid leave. Or look at Google.org's fellowship program. Employees can do full-time pro bono work for nonprofits using their core skills to tackle social issues. These things deeply engage Gen Z because they connect directly to that desire for real-world impact. It's not just talk, it's action.
And again, authenticity is crucial here. They can spot purpose washing or greenwashing a mile off, can't they?
Absolutely. It has to be integrated. Salesforce is often cited here with their 1-1-1 model, dedicating 1% of equity, product, and employee time to philanthropy. It combines purpose with recognition because employees get paid time off to volunteer and their efforts are celebrated internally. It's part of the culture.
That makes sense. Purpose isn't just a department, it's woven through the company.
Exactly. And these initiatives can also be great for skill development. Think about Microsoft's TEALS program.
What's that?
Employees volunteer to teach computer science in high schools. It helps the community, sure, but it also helps those employees develop teaching skills, leadership skills.
Ah, okay, so it's a win-win.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
But it's important to add a little note of caution here. While purpose is incredibly important to Gen Z, let's not forget the basics. Fair pay, clear opportunities for career advancement, those things still matter a lot. Purpose enhances the work experience, but it doesn't replace fundamental professional needs.
Good point. Got to have both. Okay, last big strategy for today. Personalization and flexibility. This generation grew up with algorithms tailoring everything to them. Music, news, shopping. So they expect work to adapt to them.
That's the expectation, yes. It's a huge departure from the old one-size-fits-all corporate structure. Look at Spotify. They have their work from anywhere policy, which is more than just remote work. They have this My Work Mode tool that lets employees actually customize their schedules and how they work. It gives them real agency.
Control over their own work style.
Precisely. Or MasterCard, they use AI in their Unlocked program to create personalized learning paths for employees based on their goals, their existing skills. It recognizes that everyone's growth journey is different.
And this personalization extends to rewards too, right? Not just generic bonuses.
Definitely. Companies like Airbnb are moving towards flexible reward systems. Employees might get to choose between extra vacation days, a stipend for learning, maybe wellness benefits, whatever matters most to them.
An empowering choice.
Exactly. And even peer-to-peer learning fits here. Google's Googler to Google program lets employees teach each other skills. It's personalized learning driven by individual curiosity and need.
So what's the real power behind all this personalization? Why is it so effective?
Well, fundamentally, it makes employees feel seen, truly seen, and valued as individuals, not just cogs in a machine. That fosters a much deeper sense of belonging, psychological safety, too. And that's not just a nice to have, it's a really powerful retention tool. Why? Because it allows employees to grow and evolve within the company. They feel the organization is adapting with them, rather than them having to constantly fit into rigid boxes.
It mirrors the personalized world they live in outside of work.
Perfectly. It feels natural to them.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, if you're a leader or a company trying to engage Gen Z, it sounds like the sweet spot is right at that intersection of, digital innovation, real purpose, and personalized experiences.
That's a great summary. It's about creating this holistic environment that feels native to them, that aligns with their digital-first outlook, but also their deep human need for meaning and connection.
And really, companies shouldn't see Gen Z as just, a problem to solve.
Absolutely not. They should see them as catalysts for building better, more modern, more human workplaces for everyone. It's about creating an environment where these digital natives can truly thrive, where purpose actually fuels productivity, and where individual growth isn't just encouraged, it's celebrated.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, looking ahead? Could we see a future where people have impact portfolios right alongside their CVs, showcasing the environmental contributions they've made through their work?
That's a fascinating thought, and it feels plausible, doesn't it? Because the compelling truth here, I think, is that the future of work isn't some distant thing we're heading towards. It's already here. And Generation Z, they're absolutely leading the charge.